MMAjunkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is gonna be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMAjunkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goes. This is what we do and why we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'!
The MMAjunkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communication stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMAjunkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMAjunkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMAjunkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMAjunkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes. Our ace co-host, to my far left, it's the fight analyst, Dan Tom. Back east producing, as always, Danny Otto, our special co-host here for the first hour. To my right, we'll start with Rob Font. He's on the far right. He's got a fight coming up against Sergio Pettis at UFC on Fox 31. That's the last fight on Big Fox. So that's the end of the relationship with UFC and Fox as they turn the page to 2019, where everything will be on ESPN and ESPN Plus. And to my immediate right is Calvin Kattar. He's coming off a recent win over Chris Gold at UFC Fight Night 131. What's up, guys?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Good, man.
I'm liking the jacket, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Classic Adidas.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you swaggy too. I like that. I'm taking it.
Nice save.
It's more that Boston look.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I did it for you guys. My man.
Yeah. I really like you guys, but man, that little Patriots thing started it right away.
Yeah,
like it's like a little push, you know,
Calvin
like in the hallway. I'm in between classes. I'm at my locker, and Calvin just walked up and kind of just
puffed
gave me one
my
of
chest
those.
a little
I'm
bit.
Like, oh man. All right, that's how it's gonna be. But all right, guys, thanks for coming by. You are really like a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
You know, from fighting.
Yep.
So this is training camp and you know, Vegas time or whatever you want to call it.
So yeah, we get out here for medicals too.
Right.
Get some medicals done, and then we're gonna hit the PI, and then get some working with Giffy and all the guys out here. But yeah, pretty much 2.5 weeks out.
All right. And you're just one of his main training partners. Are you working on a fight?
I'm the sidekick. Yeah, right now, if I don't get a fight, I'm just a sidekick.
You're a busy guy. You got promotions to run. You know. But are you going to poke your head into the PI as well and kind of like, you know, the matchmakers work there?
Yeah, I never miss a chance to work with Heather. She
files?
kills it. Yeah, for sure. I always cause trouble wherever I go. So if I don't get a fight lined up or a regiment, I'm in there messing with other people's.
But are you going to look to line up a fight?
Yeah, I'm always trying to stay ready, especially right now. Like you said, I'm just focusing on the Combat Zone show, February 2nd. Manchester, New Hampshire.
Keep plugging it.
Yeah, for sure. Until we stream it, it's not going to make a difference. But
you got the Bill Belichick Combat Zone sweater.
Made, or did you cut that yourself?
This is a Combat Zone Bill Belichick style hoodie. We like to call this.
Wait, he kind of goes a little bit further down, right? But I like that.
Thank you.
Did you cut it yourself?
No, we
had
have
it made
a guy.
like that.
I had it made. My guy, Jeff McGarn, he hooks us up with all that.
That's what I
clothes.
tried to do with a few, because we get a lot of gifts as well.
Yeah.
And some of them just, I don't know, that's too bulky. I'm a fat, sweaty bastard.
Yeah, Vegas.
So I like the Belichick style. Sometimes I'll just cut them here, you know.
I'll have to get you one.
I know he goes down here, but that's tight. That looks cool.
You might be leaving with this one.
Oh, okay. Except my 2X.
You're a medium?
Yeah. Is that a medium?
No, it's
That's a lot.
I got two sets of clothes, one in camp, one out.
I know about
outside
calzones.
legs.
I'm not shy to talk about it. You know what I mean? All right, guys. All right. So first things first. When did you get here?
Tuesday.
Yep. Okay. And immediately treadmills, training. Yeah.
Instantly. Yeah. Actually, I couldn't sleep, so I was out on the strip jogging like around 4 o'clock, and then got back to it. I had to do a whole bunch of medicals that day, and then today, we're doing this, and then we're heading up to Giffey's gym and getting some work there. But straight business, a little bit of pleasure on Saturday, but straight business.
Kind of like you're second home now, right?
On Friday.
Been here enough.
He's been fought, what, 4 times here?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I love it. I'm going to fight once.
Made my debut.
I thought he actually had moved here because then we did like Contender Series like
every
3
week
weeks
he was
straight,
there.
right? He just kept popping up. I was like, what?
Always by the food truck, too. I thought, I was like, are you working it or what?
That burger, man.
Yeah, the Fuku burger. What was it called?
Fuku burger was good.
It was good. That was one of my favorite parts. That's why Tuesday nights were wonderful. 5 fights straight, one after the other, and then there's the whole drama. Who's going to get in? They go to the kitchen. That guy, that girl. And then, boom, Fuku burger, and you couldn't ask for a better Tuesday.
It was the best.
I thought Rob was actually pitching because I kept asking where's he at, and they're like, he's working on that slider, them sliders outside. I was like, oh, but yeah, man, he loves
Sign me up, man. The Fuku burgers, man. I love it, man. I wish I could have one right now.
Yeah.
I got you, bro.
Take over.
You'll have to?
Yeah.
All right, Rob, so this is a question I want to ask you that I'm sure you guys often get. This, your next fight is always your most important fight ever, right?
Yep.
But, let's peel through that a little bit like an orange. Why is this one so much more important other than it's your next one and, the simple answers like we get? Is there something about it, whether it's the fact that it's on Big Fox, whether it's the last fight in your contract, whether it's something against Pettis, or
honestly,
or
it's just to get that taste out of my mouth from the last L. Honestly, obviously it's a big card. The last one on Fox, it's in his hometown. So I want to go in there and ruin the night for him. But I definitely gotta get that taste out of my mouth, man. I hate losing, so we got to wash that up and then get in there and get that W.
Does it? You're a pretty happy dude, happy-go-lucky type guy. Does it eat at you more like at night, at training? That loss. Like, how long has that loss been hanging there?
Not too long.
Since July, I
guess.
It's
like we get in there, get right back to training. I fought, and then he got his fight coming up, so I got right back to the gym, was training. So try to obviously not think about it. I watched it like 3 times, and like just get to the 6 in my stomach watching it, but not too, with that fight, man, it sounds weird. I think I took it too serious, if that makes sense. Like, I think I took it way too serious. I was like fighting to beat a Sansao. Like, I wanted that Sansao name instead of fighting for my name, and fighting for fun. But, it was like one of those, like, I watched it a couple times, see what I did wrong, and then got right back to the gym and started fixing it.
When you looked at it, did you go, the better man won, or do you got something for him if you guys ever fought in the future? Like,
yeah, definitely. But it was more like I felt like
because he's really good.
No,
too,
I felt like the rookie. Like I felt like I felt young. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he just was always out positioning me at the right time, always at the right time. It was like bang, bang, and it just the fight felt like it went like that, like, real quick. It was just like I got dropped in the first round. Bell rings, and I got taken down in the second round. Bell rings, and same thing in the third round. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like, and then I'm in the back room, like, what happened? Like, and it's just too fast. And like I said, like he just won every exchange. Not every exchange, but like was just controlling the exchanges and just being in a better position the whole time. And I was just like 2 steps ahead behind him. It wasn't like he was doing anything crazy. It was just wasn't there to be hit. And then when he wanted to hit, he was there, and then he was gone. It was just like
I love the raw honesty. And when we first started the show almost 12 years ago. We had no experience. We would tap dance, tiptoe, Felt like some of these questions were just the kind of shit like you just didn't want to hear, But as I've noticed is we've become more professional, and you guys are professional fighters. Just like we mentioned, the Patriots don't go 19-0. They lose a couple,
Yeah.
They can honestly go that. The better team got us. They outplanned us. They outdid this.
They
outdid
could have a bad
that.
day.
Yeah, you could have a bad
But
day or whatever.
business, it's
You know what I mean? But the eventual goal
much.
is your Super Bowl, which is a title shot. And I always feel like I like to ask the fighters, do you feel like you're there yet? Are you getting there? Do you got something for Dillashaw and the road that he gets to get there? Because obviously Sunsao is one of the top guys. He's actually beaten Dillashaw. And he's got a formidable record. So there's really nothing wrong with losing to a guy like that, as long as you can kind of look and say, he may have got me that night, but I see where I can do some tweaking and in the future,
With that one, it was like I just got to take a little bit more risks on the bottom. Like I think I was like, oh man, I know he's setting me up for this. It's not, and then it was just kind of like thinking too much of what I shouldn't do instead of just like Joe Lozon was saying, you should have just gave him your back and just try like something. Like just, obviously, it's you're breaking like jiu-jitsu rules, but just do it and see what happens. And like I just didn't do that. I was trying to play it like technical book play. You can't do that with a guy like a Sansa. Like it was just, like, and then and then it was like I was just rushing to hit him. Like once he hit me, I was like, all right, everything went out the window. I was like, I gotta hit this guy back, and it was just wasn't happening. And then like I said, like it's just the little details of his footwork. It just like it was nothing crazy, just wasn't there. It was like then he's here, and then he's there, and then he closes the distance, and it was just like. And like it's like like I said, I felt like the rookie, the young fighter, and like he had the experience, and it was just like after he shook my hand, I was like, damn, like I just got schooled, and like I felt like he snapped me up and said, all right, go learn, go back to the gym and learn. It was like, all right, bet.
You ever heard something like that before?
It's really interesting.
Fuck, it's one of the most interesting things I've heard from a fighter. Just I'm kind of like visualizing it as you're saying it, and we'll never step in, so I don't know what something like that's like. But I do know that anytime I've seen confrontation, been around confrontation. Like when you watch a movie and there's an explosion and you hear that little dee, and people are trying to gather themselves, and I imagine that's what you guys are going through, and how calm, cool, and collected. Sorry, go ahead.
Let me tell you a story about that later.
Okay.
That whole process of figuring out what exactly went wrong, when does that end? Because I have to imagine when they're raising his hand up, you kind of have an idea, like, fuck, I should have done this, I should have done that. But when you go back and watch the tape, it's probably completely different, right? It's a different story. When does it finally set in and go, this is exactly what went wrong, this is what I have to fix, this is what I didn't do?
It's usually so let's say we fight Saturday, by that Wednesday, I'll have like my coach Tyson pretty much like, hey, this is what we did wrong. Obviously, I'll watch it. We'll go over it. I hate watching them, but I'll watch it a couple times. Actually, my girl will kind of break down things for me. She'll be like, listen, like, you look like you're way too tall for this. Like, you should maybe just get down. I'm like, fuck, she's right. Like, damn, like, why didn't you tell me before the fight? But then, obviously, everybody has their opinion on things, and I'll listen to certain people that I know that are really giving me, some good advice. And then, but, like I said, we get in there, we try to fix that and get right back to work. But it is tough. But you got to swallow that pill and just get right back to it.
The worst one, I guess, is the people that don't know what they're talking about giving you the advice.
It's the worst.
The next, 6 months until you fight again? That's the worst. Like, yeah, I know. I should have done that.
Should
have thought of that.
Do you have family that just feel like they could chime in?
Everybody.
Everybody.
I actually went to my sister's wedding after that fight, and bro, they just killed me. Everybody, like, hey, great job, man. But you should have did this. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm like you should be doing that. You should be doing this, man. I used to do a keto back in the day. I'm like, oh yeah, man. I hear you, man. Like, it's the worst, man. It's the worst.
You got how much? Doesn't that take something out of you on fight day? Damn, I could never.
That's the worst conversation. The weight cut conversation. That's the worst.
Well, George had brought something up. He's right. We've never fought in the UFC or any of that. But how difficult is it for you afterwards to? You had said something that we can relate to, and you said it too, Calvin. It's just having a bad day. Sometimes you have a bad day. There's times where we'll say something on the show or we'll do something that we do in everyday life. It just doesn't come out that way, and we know we messed up. And it's just a matter of waking up the next day and you feel rejuvenated and you just get back on the horse, right?
Yeah.
But then there's times where people feel like they might have to reinvent themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just turning the screws a little bit. Sometimes it's going through a whole process, different camp, different coaches.
For sure.
How long does it take you to figure out which is which, and is it difficult to kind of know which time is which?
It's definitely difficult, especially coming off of L. Because I'm always switching things up all the time, anyways. As far as like just working with new guys, bringing new guys in, or hitting mitts with different, mitt holders and all that. I have one coach, that's Tyson Chartier, and then we kind of like we'll kind of like hit mitts with a certain guy on this camp, or go to jiu-jitsu over here, this camp. And so it's tough with that. So I don't want to say I'm always reinventing the wheel, but I'm always just tinkering here, tinkering there, and then some people think it's stupid, and then other guys think it's smart. But as far as like how do I say it? What am I looking for? As far as like redoing things, I don't believe you should. Like just going to a whole new camp, it's kind of like, oh, you're not gonna find the answer on the other side over there.
You also want to stick to what got you there. Yeah, a little bit of that. You don't lose yourself.
You guys are only human. When's the last time you were stubborn? Where somebody actually did give you good advice, and it came from probably like someone that you wouldn't expect, but you just didn't listen.
For me, it's the way you say it. It might be right, but it's the way you say it. You know what I'm saying? If you're in my face yelling at something like, it could be 100% right. I'm like, just get away.
Hey, why does this make it so much worse when they put their arm around you? Doesn't that make you feel like a little kid or something?
I'm like,
especially after a loss.
Get off me. Like,
you do that instantly.
I'm like, nah. But if you could be 100% right, but if the delivery's wrong, I'm gonna take it as you don't know what you're talking about, and then obviously I'll go back and obviously listen to you, but I'm not gonna let you know I'm listening to you.
I've had bad days that I come off W's though. To be fair, I've damn, thank God I got out of that one a little early. Like I felt like shit, So there's plenty of times where you get to write that fine line, but maybe things go your way, and you're like, oh, forget it, that we won. But no, you should still go through and
Right.
even off wins. Sometimes we try to be our own worst critic. A lot of times off wins and pull what we could have done better, what we need to work on. What's the next guy think? After watching this tape, he thinks he's gonna come at us and trying to forecast that. So it's always work and always critiquing and always refining every little detail. Because a lot of times at this level, it's who makes the mistake first. You know what I mean? A little one too, like he says, all the little details, and they just magnify under the spotlight in the moment.
And again, the Patriots or a basketball team or a hockey team, they can correct it in a week. They can have that feeling of winning in a week. Even if they lose, all they got to do is wait 1 week.
And it's back.
Basketball could be the next day or the day after, and that feeling's back. And for you guys, it's like, damn, and I often wonder, let's just say, okay, so you lost to Sunsound July, but let's say the next 3 times you got the better of Calvin, all right?
Always good.
And if you go home, you can feel good about it because he's a badass. You know what I mean? But because no one watched it, there wasn't millions at home and thousands in the arena watching it. It's so there's something about the loss also being so public too, right?
It's public. It's that's the only thing they remember. It's like that last L. It's where you could go out and knock out 20 guys, but they only remember that last L. You're like, bro, but you didn't see that Almeida fight? Like, I got the head kick and everything. Like, they're like, oh yeah, but you should have did this to Hassan. So you're like,
and those same people are sitting on the sidelines with their feet up, having a nice ice cold, watching you. They're afraid to put their back into the wall and maybe fail. So it is what it is.
It's tough because it's like explaining the L or talking about it, like I said, going to a wedding and then having to talk about that, or going out and you're like, or like introducing yourself. Hey, it's about fun. Like, blah 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 blah. Like, oh, you fight. Like, yeah. Like, how'd you win?
How'd the last one go?
Like, so you suck? I'm like, no, I'm pretty good. But like,
you've heard that question?
Yeah, like people say the craziest questions.
People say the craziest shit.
So like, are you good though? Like, are you?
So I think I'm a polite armchair quarterback or a respectful armchair quarterback.
And you guys know what you're talking about. Just because you said you don't get in there, there's a difference between getting in there and then also just knowing what you're talking about at some level. And
these weddings though,
I don't like.
Rob's a big wedding guy.
When people say that they put money on them, like they go, "Oh yeah, you lost me some cash," and it's always like,
"Oh my god,"
or something like that.
Like, I got people
$20, go away.
I got people messaging me before the fight. I send it to my buddies, like a group message, a UFC message every time we got a fight coming up, and they're always sending crazy stuff throughout there. I just peek at it. A lot of times I'm too busy with the training things, but I love looking at it. And I got this one person that messaged me, "Hey, I bet $200 from South Korea. You need a win for me." I'm like, shit. I didn't want to, because I got that. I want to win just that little bit more. Things as if that would make me want to win any more than I already want to do. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's nuts, man.
Uncle Kevin makes a great point. He's got $20. I mean, I should win this fight.
And then they tell me all the things the guys say. That stuff doesn't really bother me either. Like, you can't say really much more to me to get me more motivated for a fight than I already am. Like, there's no verbal, about anything. Tell me any one thing that you're going to, it's not going to, like, motivate me anymore. I want to go in there and handle business for way more reasons.
You mean Twitter people or your opponent?
Like, everything. And there's nothing that you can say to me that I already don't, like, want to go out there and get my hand raised just off my own personal standards. Like, I want to go out there and get the job done. Anything you say to me is just secondary. You know what I mean? They just, but I feel like because as Rob's boy, like, I want to say something that, like, I want to affect him to just do that little bit more, and then you want to try, but like, he's already ready to go. He's Rob Font. He's going to go in there. He's going to do his thing. You just try to make sure he's cool, calm, and collected when he goes in there. But as far as like motivate him, he's ready to go. It's not much you can say. He's already ready to go.
Cool little insight here.
Yeah. You know what I thought of was remember Joe Montana in that huddle in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
How are you guys?
Cool Joe, right?
Like during the fight, being able to take in what your coaches are telling you and all that and absorb it. Some guys say I don't even hear it.
It's hit or miss. Like when I'm locked in, like I really don't know what I'm doing.
Locked in, I like that.
Like when I'm like flowing, I'm just like I can't hear anything. I'm just like I said. Sometimes I'll hit a guy. I'm looking at the replay. What did I hit him with? Like, oh, okay, damn, all right, perfect. And but then like I said, like when I'm not, and I'm having an off night, I feel like you can hear the little things, or you can notice like a green shirt in this style, and you're like, all right, focus.
Why am I thinking about this in the fight?
Yeah, focus. I should be thinking about why am I looking about this guy? Like that's an ugly ass shirt. Like what's wrong with that?
Same shit.
And I'm like focus. Now you're thinking about focus, and like I said, then that bell just rings. Like,
how would you prefer those 60 seconds go? Like, if it was up to you, I'm sure you've discussed this with your coach, but do you like the breathing aspect? Do you want just 3 little tweaks, or do you want him to psych you up? Remember what you're fighting for?
Yeah, it all
what
varies,
do you want? What do you want to hear?
It all varies. Obviously, what I hate hearing, I'm not hearing, but I hate the desperate in the voice. I'm like, oh shit, we're losing.
Say that shit for the 3rd round.
Yeah, I'm like,
say that shit for the 3rd round.
You know what I'm saying? Like I hate that desperate, like wow, or like so you just come in, stay calm, catch my breath, give me the, give me the important stuff. Don't give me the fluff. Like, don't give me this. You're fighting for your family, dude. Don't
Like,
the
fluff.
We don't need that. Like,
okay.
but I want to hear like, okay, listen, you're dropping your right hand. Keep it up, or whatever.
Gotcha.
Like the little details and like, but not too much either.
What about the breathing? Is that as important as some coaches make it?
That's huge. I think
it's
it's the biggest.
Calming you down, so you walk out there and you're just.
Honestly, that's the only thing you can really control. Like, is how you breathe. Like everything else, like it all like if you can control your breathing, you can control like the outcome pretty much. Like. If you can't even, if you're like, it just your mind's racing, it goes too crazy, and if you can't stop and slow that down, then you're like, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Do you know what your heartbeat gets up to when you're in the midst of a fight, especially like a sequence that's, like let's say you're ground and pound and going for a finish? Has that ever been measured? I
mean, we use a heart rate monitor. I mean, I always forget it.
When it gets that high, I stop looking at it.
But no, I mean, I would love to like try to like figure that out during the fight, like see how it goes, but because I'm assuming like if you're losing, it's just going crazy. It's going crazy. But when you're winning, you're winning. It's so cool. Like it's the weirdest feeling. Like when you're locked in, you're flowing. It's like you're literally like floating and just everything. It's like you can't miss. Like everything, you're like oh bang, oh bang. Everything's landing. You're like wow, like all right, cool. Then like and you just can go all day and everything. Like you see shots, you feel things, and then out of nothing, you almost go blank and you go black, and it just bang. And before you know, you're like, oh, I knocked him out. All right, let's go, let's get out of here. And it's the weirdest feeling. Like I can't explain it.
All right, Calvin, how about you? What do you prefer in those 60 seconds?
I like a good 10-second, almost just don't say anything, breathe, give me some water, let me take a couple deep breaths, get some water, then I can kind of process whatever you're gonna try to tell me right now, and then really I like them to keep it simple. Say 1 or 2, maybe 3 things, like 2 definites, and then 1 maybe look for something, something that you're looking at. But I always listen to the outside corners specifically for me because I started with a wrestling base. And I started right in high school, so I didn't really know what the hell I was doing, but I felt very able, and I was scrappy for being a small kid. And the good thing about wrestling is they're all about weight, so I'm wrestling another small kid, so it worked out. But my coach was just kind of coaching me through a lot of my matches. I didn't know what I was doing. I was strong enough to manipulate and scrappy enough to kind of get what I wanted, but I just didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. So he'd tell me, and there's some matches that he kind of coached me through winning that I probably wouldn't have won if I didn't pay attention. And so I kind of always had that listening to the corner going into this. And the last 2 knockouts I had in the UFC were the combo I had heard, within 5-10 seconds from hitting it from my corner, actually. So that's huge for me. They're the reason why I got my last 2 knockouts in the UFC, which is huge.
Dude, my mind drifted for just a second. I'll tell you why. If I was a millionaire, I would do a Netflix series, and these 2 would be gang detail in Boston. You guys would be cops.
Crime rate would be going down in Boston.
You play off each other very well. You guys explain things very well. You got, especially Calvin, really thick pistol, accent.
Yeah.
I was thinking that would be a pretty good show, right?
I think so.
Like Miami Vice, but Boston Vice. But
he's always got to wear that sweatshirt. So that's like his
their
thing.
thing is gang detail, So when a kid says, "You know what it's like," and then they say, "I know what it was like, but I overcame," and they kind of get a little bit of a sermon.
Yeah,
I was thinking about like a lot of things they were saying.
2 cool dudes, man. And I want to hate Boston people because of the Lakers Celtics thing, but they're cool guys.
Remember the green? One of you guys said the green shirt, that you were focusing on a green shirt. Do you remember Mike Pyle? What he said? He said one time he couldn't stop thinking about SpongeBob SquarePants in the middle of a fight.
I'm telling you, man.
And he couldn't get it out of his head.
I think the craziest shit. Court McGee was saying the same thing. Walking in, we fought in the same car to Moncton, but he was mentioning the same shit. He's like, walking in, I see this. He's like, wait, why am I thinking about this? And Rob said some really good advice to me kind of going into my debut. He's like, listen, everything's going to be different. Everything except what matters is the 3 5-minute rounds. So I literally don't mind any of those weird thoughts, this, that, the other thing, until that bell rings. Then I know, okay, we're back to what we do. So I actually plan to think all that weird shit on the way in. I'm like, it doesn't matter. None of this shit matters until that cage door closes, and then I tune in. You know what I mean? But I know you're gonna think those weird things. Man, I walked out my last fight, and it's like this is exactly what I'm saying. I walk out the first 5 seconds, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You start walking out. All of a sudden, I hear my dad right there. He goes, "Hey, Goose," and I'm like, "What the fuck, Dad?" I'm like, it's just one of those things. Like you were right when you walk out, you're in the zone.
So he was like right by the tunnel.
He was like right by the tunnel. I wasn't expecting that. It just kind of called me up. Hey, Goose. No one calls me Goose. I'm like, what, Dad? And I just kept walking. I'm like, too late, man. I wasn't ready for that. But if I never have a lucky cup, lucky mouth guard, lucky nothing. I just try to. Nothing matters until that cage door closed and you got 3 5-minute rounds, and that's kind of what he prepared me for. And then you just, the number one thing, man, is like you're saying, the lights like this, you're kind of not used to a little bit. You smell the leather on the gloves, and then just hands up, chin down, breathe, and do your thing. You don't want to overthink it and overcomplicate it. Like you were saying, sometimes you just take it too serious, you overthink it. Keep it light, and some of the times that we feel like we're ready to go is like he's saying, like when you see the person start having a little fun, get a little loose. That's when you're gonna see the best you and the most efficient you come out.
Perfect example was Holloway versus Max Holloway versus Aldo. Like when he started putting hands up, doing this, it was just like I'm pretty sure Aldo was like
he's in the zone.
Good. He's having fun. He's doing his thing. It's like obviously if you coaching 1-on-1, keep your hands up and all that. But like once he starts doing that, you're like, all right, he's relaxed, he's chilling, he's gonna do his thing. And then you saw like to put away a guy like Aldo is huge. But I feel like if he was sitting there like this, all stiff and trying to be basic 1-on-1, like he wouldn't have as much fun and the knockout.
UFC would have cut his ass by now.
That was going to be my next question. In your guys' fights, are there certain moments, certain things about your opponent when you see something where I got him?
Yeah, all the time.
Can you remember a moment like that? Because that's a good one. As soon as I saw Holloway kind of doing that same thing, I thought Aldo's got to be thinking, fuck, people don't do this to me.
One of them, like I don't want to say his name, but he looked away. Like almost like looked like. I'm like, what are you looking at? Like, oh, he's not here. Like, he's checked out. Like, he was doing his thing. He kind of like looked away, and it was kind of like, it was almost like too much going on for him. And he was just like, oh, I got him. Like, I know I just got to stay on his face. I got to stay on his face. And then I hit him with a right hand, and it was just like, his whole body was like, oh, fuck this. And it was just, and then you just know. And honestly, it's weird. You can feel too. Like, you can feel when somebody's ready to go. Like, it sounds weird, but like when I rocked Maida in Boston. I hit him. I got to a body lock, and I was like, oh, yeah, he's not ready. He's still here. He's still here. He's still here. Then the second time, like, it was almost like his body just went like, oh, he's ready to go. And then you just kind of pour it on him. But
took him to the cliff.
Yeah, like, you just let him go.
A lot of times with them walking in, you can feel that pressure in the first rounds. All of a sudden, as you start feeling them, like, not give that pressure, and all of a sudden they start backing up. You're like, oh, I got him on the cliff. You know what I mean? Something like that a little bit.
Why is that? Because you're hurting them more than they're hurting you? Or what is that?
I mean, definitely a lot of times people prepare for a lot is, taking damage or even body shots sometimes will take a good amount out of you, but you're not used to taking a ton of damage. Maybe some guys in there, they, pit-pat around maybe in sparring. All of a sudden that damage starts adding up. You're like, oh, shit, I wasn't hit like this in practice. Sometimes that can do it. Or a lot of reasons. Maybe they came out a little more aggressive than they were at first.
This is interesting because in the McGregor-Khabib fight, I remember thinking, I wonder if Conor will be able to do what he does to everyone else, and that's just walk out, He's walking out and he's stalking because I figured he's going to walk right into Khabib's takedown.
Yeah.
But, win or lose, that guy still kind of does what he does. Now, in the later rounds, I've seen some of what you guys were talking about where the head's starting to hang, I saw it in the Khabib fight, and I saw it in the Nate Diaz fight.
Second one.
Yeah. But Nick also did it to Anderson Silva. Like, I just didn't think he'd come out and say, what's up, let's do it. And it took Anderson a bit to even get into that little mode, you know what I mean? So
I think the best example
it's just mental warfare, man.
I think the best example is Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. That first one,
the
old school one.
Holy shit, you really
He came out, was like, what's up? And then Robbie said, what the hell? I'm the guy with the power. I'm the guy with the power. I'm like, and then clip, and put him away. And then even like when the ref was breaking him up, he was still kind of going at him. It was just like, this guy's crazy. Like, what's wrong? Like, he has to be tapped. I think that's a perfect example. Like, Nick's the man. Like,
I think the best fights are when that can kind of go back and forth a little bit, like momentum in a college football game. It's all about momentum. In a 5-round fight, you probably see it more than maybe a 3. But say you see that first guy getting the edge, and then the second guy getting the edge. Now you say, oh shit, it's even going in the third, and then now it's like a back. Like when you can kind of push that back. I mean, we've maybe have a bad round 1, but to come back and then win a round 2, that shows a lot of heart. And then okay, let's see how this guy who just won round 1, losing round 2, is going to come out in the third. And I've had that. I think in that Burgos fight, specifically in Boston,
sick fight.
I was winning that first round. I thought I got away on some good ones, and he started adding up on some body shots. He brought it back in the second a little bit, and I'm like, and then he started doing this with his hands, and I'm like, all right, let's go, motherfucker. I'm like, I love this shit. This shit's awesome, man. Like, just like we wrote it up, man. And I went up on, and then I caught him. Good thing I caught him, because that was gonna be a hell of a third round, man. I just caught him early, but he gave me that push back, after that first round when I felt like I edged him out in the first a little bit, and then he came out strong in the second, and he got my respect in that third, and then I just clipped him, caught him. But he's a tough kid, man. But I like that back and forth in a fight. You see it, that dog fight a little bit. Those are the best ones to watch.
So these little tells that we've been talking about, all that, can it go even earlier before the fight, like in weigh-ins? Because I'm going to give you guys an example. Do you remember when Rose Namajunas and Joanna Jędrzejczyk were going back and forth?
She was stone cold.
She didn't do anything. But did you see Joanna? She kind of
did she have a rosary in her hand and praying? Is that what she was doing?
She didn't know how to react, because she was so used to being that bully and somebody playing off of it, that when it didn't happen, she was kind of like, what do I do now? This girl's not scared of me.
This is awkward.
Have you guys ever had this, like, even walking around the hotel, anything that's kind of giving you a tip? Vanderlei Silva used to say in the stare down, he goes, I could look through that guy's soul. I knew exactly what was going on.
I mean, I've never felt that personally. It's weird. Like I said, like, I've only really noticed it one time in a fight. Like, the guy later looked up. I'm like, why are you looking up there? I'm like, what's up there? What's going on up there? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, and I just knew, like, he's not here. He's just not here. Like, you can see it in his eyes. Like, all right, you could tell he just wanted to, like, okay, just be safe, don't get hurt, and just get through the round.
So the stare downs aren't too much?
Shit, my last one for me was, but that's just because I was on a 4th fight of my contract that I didn't have a new one on the line, and 2-1 at that point, and I just felt like that one was so important to me. And anytime off a loss, like you said, that hunger, that drive, and I think he was trying to make a lot of those like eye contacts pre-fight, just selling it too much, all that shit. And I didn't want to make the eye contact, because when I start doing that, then it's like, all right, well, now I'm looking at you, staring at each other, and I'm not going to look away. All right, now I'm going to say something. Then we're going to come up, we're going to do something. Like, I just don't even want to get down across that line. But let's go square off when we get to the press box. Yeah. So we do that, and then I just felt like, man, I don't know, after a loss, you get a little chippy, and I appreciate that feeling in that moment. And
you can can see the guys that are just happy just to be there. Like, oh yeah, we're here. UFC, like, yes. You're like,
yep.
Nah, you haven't realized it's just you gotta go in there and win. Like it's like you can see that instantly. Like, yeah, they're just so happy just to be on Instagram. Like, yeah, look, UFC, you got a Reebok kid. It's freaking awesome. Like, it's just wait. You still gotta get in there and win. Yeah. It's just like those guys that you can, like, I feel like you can scare them. Honestly, once you get in there, you can faint and they're like, oh, hold up. Like, it's too fast for them,
I think I made my debuts when I started my career. Getting into the UFC, I feel like scrap. 0-0, starting out. Let's go. Let's earn this shit.
Incredible insight from the guys here. We have Rob Font and Calvin Kattar here in studio. But right now we got to take a break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on SiriusXM's Fight Nation Channel 93. Stay close, and we'll be right back.
Do a
MMA
boxing,
community.
wrestle off,
But hey,
just do a-
stretch
Yep.
marks for the new
Do a
pack.
knocker.
That's
Play
scratch the
your gorgeous
jiu-jitsu
court
out,
and goes.
Get the radio channel numbers and a link to listen to your favorite NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, or NHL team sent right to your smart device. Just go to SiriusXM.com/sportstoday and click Add to My Calendar. We're joined in studio by Rob Font and Calvin Kattar. Been having a blast here, and they were telling us a story. Rob started off back in, he estimates 2012. You wanted to fuck him up.
Yeah, man.
Talk to us about
definitely.
that. Take us to it.
Yeah, I was, obviously.
So much for my reality show.
You might need to
right?
put someone in between us. You might need to put someone in between
I'm
us.
putting them on the streets. I
Yeah.
thought they were like.
Bro, he's trying to get
friends.
Boston against each other
There was
now.
some
That's what
history
I see
here.
what you're up to, man.
saw that,
Yeah,
huh?
I had that young man. I wanted to be the number one guy in the Northeast, and had to be the king. And I was like, I had that stupid mentality of like, all right, who's the biggest guy? Let's go knock him out. And like I said, my manager and Coach Tyson was like, listen, he slapped me up a couple times. Like, listen, you're an idiot. That's stupid. He had the vision. Like, listen, that's retarded. We both can get you guys. So we can get you to the UFC if we train together and build together and really, put some work in together. I was like, nah, I don't want to hear that, man. I still want, to fight him. And it was just like, and then like he came down to the gym. He started, sparring. I was like, all right, well, he was right. Like this would have been a tough fight. Like, and I can feel the size difference. I can feel, the power. I can feel the wrestling. And like, I was like, yeah, maybe he was right. I mean, I still feel like I would have won that fight. But
That fight was too
you know
big for local.
You know what I'm saying? I was
Man.
like, all right, cool. Then I was like, that's when like. It was like, I always listen to Tyson, but like it was like, all right, maybe I should just like really never second guess anything he says after that one. It was just like, it was perfect because like I said, it became one of my best friends, and then we do everything together. We always out, we always doing everything, and it was just like I'm glad I didn't fight him. Like it would have been a stupid matchup.
Yeah, same for sure.
But I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I don't want that shit.
You have this bantamweight talking shit over here.
I'm telling you, I'm a big man.
Yeah,
I would have put the hands to him, man. Like, but it actually
Did you know he felt that way?
What?
Or that was all like a.
What, that he wanted to fight?
Yeah, years ago.
Oh no, it was gonna happen. It was slated to happen for sure. I just had took my last fight locally for some time. I fought for Dave George at Combat Zone before I took over ownership. Then that fight I just fought for free. That was like first payment. So I started doing the promoting side for a while. And I was around that time where I felt like I had to start making some money if I'm going to be kicking around in the sport for as long as I was. And then I've been doing the promoting for like 3 years, and I'm sitting around watching all these cage side fights, and it's getting me the itch, And then I just seen Rob doing big things in that 3 years that I took off. He was setting up strength and conditioning, which like not many people were really doing at a specific home, doing it the right way. Developing a team. He had Tyson with the management. It was always just kind of me and my brother doing our thing and working with a promoter that we trusted. And so to see him do his thing, 3 years later, I kind of missed that feeling of competing. And I was naive enough to think, from that area, there was a UFC at the TD Garden coming up in January. I just called Tyson randomly, heading down 93. I'm like, hey, T, what's up, man? How's everything been? We were on set for that movie, Here Comes the Boom. That's how I had met Tyson. And I just shot the shit with him about trying to get on the TD card if any fallouts happen. He's like, oh, yeah, we'll get a contract going, get you guys signed up, and see it this way. If anything happens, you'll be good to go. So I took 2 fights, and then fast forward, 2 years later, I was with Rob fighting on the TD Garden card, and that's just a testament to Tyson's vision. He sees things far in advance, and it's important to have that team member kind of quarterbacking it while you're focused on the hard training.
Yeah. Wow.
And he's just the born, and now he's my number one teammate, so I'll give him that. So it worked out. If I hadn't taken that 3-year layoff, I really don't think things would be in place as nice as they are now. And they really settled in over that 3 years where I'm able to now do the promoting side. I got a great manager in Tyson Chartier and number one teammate in Rob Font. So
there was a local promotion, CES. They wanted that fight. They were like, I was like, yeah, let's do it. They really put a belt. I just won the 45 belt. And I was like, listen, this makes sense.
I was like, that's my belt.
He was like,
that's my belt.
He was dead set again. He would get full on arguments with the promoter. Like he was like, no, like it's the biggest fight.
He knew.
This and that. And it was just no. He's like, no, it's not happening. He's not fighting. He's not fighting. He's not fighting. It was just like, I'm mad at him, secretly mad. Like, man, this guy's son, I need a new manager. He doesn't. And then like. But like, I like to believe like I can feel the game and like he can see the game. Like he can see little things. I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, but I can feel it. But yeah, like it was. I was mad.
Shout out to T.
Yeah. Uncle T. We love you, Bobby.
I want to go back to something you were saying. Don't tell me I'm losing till the 3rd round. Remember when we were talking about stuff that happens in between? So let me ask you a question that we're all curious about. What about if your corner fans and media all felt you lost the first round 10-9. Do you want to hear that? Do you want to hear that you lost at first? We need to get the second.
No.
Not necessarily. Hey, you got to knock him out.
No.
I don't.
I think I said might have said that wrong. I don't like hearing the desperate voice. I'm like, oh shit. Like if you're gonna come in like talk to me the same way you do the first and the second round. Like I hear like, oh okay, guys, we got to do this. And I'm like, oh, whoa, slow down. Now you scaring me. Like how bad is it? Like slow that shit down. Like come on, man. Like I don't like hearing that real desperate voice. Like when like you're almost losing your voice. I think you should be like, hey, listen. We gotta go. Like it is what it is. Blah 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 blah. The same way you do in the first round, keep it because then like I'm like, whoa. Wait a minute, how bad is it? Like it just kind of like I don't want to say freeze me. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. Like I really gotta go. And I think then I get into my head. I'm like, I just go. And it's like, whoa, slow down, at least breathe, and then get out there. But I think it's that desperate voice you can hear. Like you hear, like I said, you can hear like I can hear my girl's voice, my sister's like, Rob, you gotta get up. I'm like, fuck, everything is this. Like it just, everybody just calm down. Like this, you know what I'm saying? Let's try to figure this out.
Here's why I ask. I bet a lot on the fights. Okay. All right. And at the end, when I know my guy is about to lose, we're talking about decisions here. When I know my guy's about to lose, I'm kind of doing one of these sign of the crosses. Like, let this be the one time the split decision goes my way. You know what I mean? But I have a feeling my guy lost 2 rounds, or gal. Our gal lost 2 rounds, and the other one won, you know? And it's just this feeling in your stomach that you know you're going to lose the fight. And sometimes when you win, you're like, wow, all right, I'll take it. I'm sure as hell I'm not going to argue, right?
I had one
but
of those.
One thing that really, really gets on my nerves, and I don't know why, maybe just I'm dumb. It's as simple as that, is I have a feeling the fighters also know it. And they try and convince themselves that that's not the case by doing this. So let's say the Calvin and I fought, and the refs in between us, and I'm the one that kind of has an idea I lost. I'm still going like this, and then they'll go 30 or 29-27, you know, George, you know, 30-20 or 29-28, Calvin, and then they go like this. What? What? Like, you know, and I'm sitting there with my feet up going, motherfucker, you know.
Yeah, like, you know.
Not only do you know, you probably lost the fight. You know he got at least 1 round. That expression of going like, what, is almost like a what? I thought it was 30-26.
I won every round.
I thought I won every round and won 1 round 10-8, you know? And so they're doing that, and I'm already sitting there going, don't do that. Don't do that. And then when they announce the other guy, they'll go, what? And they'll turn to the corner like, what? The judges are dumb?
Looking stupid too.
Why are the fans doing this? You know, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there going, no. Why do you think fighters do that? Is that just that last chance to convince themselves?
I think they're trying to
like to save a little face.
Save face. You on camera. You on camera. You got everybody watching. They know.
You have to know, right? Because the fans have a good idea that you'll go back and see that maybe, like on MMA Decisions or on Twitter, a couple people, and they're making the case like, well, there was a jab, there was a late takedown, but you all know, you know.
I can understand maybe.
So I always say the onus is on the fighter to convincingly win a 10-9. You can't just win. You can't just get a takedown at the end and then go, I got the takedown, things were even, and I got the. No, man, you got to convince that judge to go 10-9. You know what I mean? Which means you have to put a little bit more out there.
You got to walk.
And I know I'm asking a lot of you guys, but sometimes I see people standing there. You know, I'm going like this because the referee's holding this hand. He's either going to raise his hand or mine. They're standing there, and I feel like you didn't give it your all. It seems like you know they may have been here, but I still see it. Now there'll be other fights like Zombie and yeah, dude, you needed spatulas
that was like,
scoop them up because they had no energy left. They left it out there. You know what I mean? I see a lot of fighters that I feel like they could have done more.
That's the worst.
And like you can fix that, and you just need to fix that. But sometimes it's repetitive.
Perfect example of that fight right there. Like if I don't even think I don't think they would even care. They're like, they would have just been hanging. If it would have went to the decision, like, it's cool, man.
They don't have the energy
to, whatever. Like, get me out of here. I'm hurting right now.
And the thing is, even the fighter that I bet that lost, what time is it, guys? I know I have to do another commercial. Even the fighter that bet that lost, it was really more mental. Like, they just wouldn't throw anything. And I see it's the feint game. The feint game, you know, like footwork, feints. And I see them thinking, but eventually somebody just has the bigger nutsack and is going, I got to go. I know I may get countered, but I got to go. And by the way, I have a 4-ounce glove that if I clip you here in the chin, get you in the temple, in the back of the ear, there's a few targets out there where all of a sudden now I got the advantage of you because you know, you're seeing double, triple vision. Your legs are out from under you. But it's that hesitancy, you know, and I'm like, damn. And then I try and learn from that, mental notes or notes that I take, and just go, I can't bet on that guy or gal until they solve that problem. You know what I mean? And I notice that that's the difference between someone that's not in the UFC and someone that's in the UFC. Someone that's in the UFC and someone that's a contender. Someone that's a contender and someone that's a world champion. It's just those little steps.
They don't
you know
think.
what I mean?
They just react in there. They don't have those. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about sometimes maybe taking things too serious or sticking too much to a certain game plan because you're thinking it's going to map out the way it's supposed. Sometimes you just got to go in there and just be you, have fun, and like we said, hands up, chin down, keep it simple.
Like and the Yari thing, like, I mean, come on, man, like he threw that up, like he like I'm pretty sure he plays around with that all the time. He was saying things. He was sitting there doing his thing and just pop. It was like perfect time. Like you can't tell me that he thought, all right, I'm gonna go into the 5th round. I'm gonna knock him out.
1 second left.
There's no way. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. He was just doing it and it worked. He's like, oh, all right, cool, let's go. And I was like, he needed it too. Like wasn't the judges about to give it to?
It was 3-1. Wait. It was 3-1 Zombie going into the 5th. Crazy. And Zombie was probably on his way to winning that one anyway. But let's just say he didn't. Basically, Yair was drawing dead. It's a poker term. You know, you just weren't on your way to winning, but he did win. You got to give him that. All right, we got to take our next break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on SiriusXM Fight Nation Channel 93. Quick update, by the way, from the Tough 28 finale. 2 fighters have missed weight, Rick Glenn and Ji Yong Kim. Glenn was over by 2.5 pounds. Kim was over by 4.5 pounds. So everybody else is on weight, including Rafael Dos Anjos and Kamaru Usman, as well as our heavyweights and our women's featherweights for the finals of the reality show. We have Rob Font and Calvin Kattar here in studio with us, and we'll be right back.
Blah, blah, blah. Here are those two dummies, George and Goes.
This holiday season, we've wrapped up some of your favorite channels in a VIP experience that you can win. Experience the joy and choose from one of 6 VIP experiences that you can win, like, for example, SiriusXM Stars VIP trip to New York. 6 grand prizes will be awarded. For official rules and to enter, go to SiriusXM.com/VIP before December 14th. No purchase necessary to enter or to win. Okay. Goes, you said you had a counter to what I was saying.
Yeah, I kind of I disagree and I don't. I think there are times where that guy is sitting there and he feels like he won.
Could have been that
he knew that he didn't.
He's been punched and he doesn't know any better.
That's what I was going to say. The way I describe this show every day to people is we have to know basically everything that's going on in the sport. So when this show's done, it takes me about 30 minutes to an hour to just get right and have normal conversations with people. Because I feel like back in school when you took a test, a really big test, we just took a 2-hour test. When you walk out of a test, all you want to do is go have a meal or something or chill out, right? So that's your guys' test. You just took that, but you had the training camp that led up to it. You had all these punches thrown at you. For you to be judged on that little moment, I think is a little unfair because you guys have taken so much shit just happened. It's hard to remember every minute of every round. And you got 15, sometimes you got 20 minutes, 25 minutes to remember what just happened. And so look at it this way. You can take a test, and that's cool, right? But how much weirder would it be if you had to take it and everybody just stood there and watched it as you were doing
right.
it, and they were watching what you were putting down?
So
now if you're putting 5 + 5 is 10, you're kind of going, you put the 1 and you go 0, right? Like it's kind of weird, right? So now all these people are staring at you. In Ulysses, when we would hit mitts and stuff like that, sometimes we would mess around, right? And this is something that you kind of said. I don't know that we would count like shot for shot. Oh, he hit me twice. I need to hit him twice. Every once in a while, he'd hit you good. And when he would hit me good, all I could remember was I need to get that punch back. I need to get mine back on that. But I wouldn't remember like he hit me 12 times, but I only hit him 10. I would be so worried about getting that one fucking punch back on his grill that I just kind of forget what happened. So I could see how sometimes a fighter will sit there and he probably thought he won.
There are some of those.
And sometimes coaches tell them that they won. They get it wrong.
But
how many times in the corner have they said, hey, man, we think you're here. And we're sitting there going, nope, we think you're wrong. There's a lot of shit that goes
screaming
on.
Screaming at the TV.
It's mostly this. It's 29-28 either way, split decision. Then the guy or gal has every right to go, well, you know, whatever. Most of the time, yeah, I see that. It's the ones that are like 30-27, 30-27, and then a 29-28, and then they're still going like, what? You know, like when clearly 2 rounds, they lost. Not only in the stand-up, they also were the victim of the takedown.
Yeah.
But I liken it to this. Back in 6th grade, you know how you guys talked about being the man in the Northeast? For some reason at our school, if you were the fastest kid, you were just the man. I was nowhere near that. But I thought I could do it. You know what I mean? I remember we used to have this thing called field day. Shit, I got to finish the story in 30 seconds. And every time I'd be like trying to get in line with someone that I could just get to the finals and see if a miracle would happen. And sure enough, if I was losing a couple times, I did the old, I pulled the hamstring just to save face. That's all it is. It's just to save face. All right. This is a quick break. It's the top of the hour break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on SiriusXM's Fight Nation, Channel 93. Stay close. We'll be right back.
we were doing all the YouTube and Kimbo and all that. Like, we didn't take it that far, but we would slapbox a lot just because of those. And then, like, yeah, he was the man.
Just Bruce Buffer, man. He's awesome.
All right, here we go. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. We're keeping the guys here a little OT. Just talking the shit, man. You know, barbershop talk, we call it.
Yes, sir.
Jumping around from topic to topic, learning a lot about these guys and what they go through, not just in training, but in between rounds, after rounds, Twitter hate. But you guys love your lives, right? The passion, or, you know, the life.
It's a privilege, man.
The road that you took. What would you be doing, Rob, if you weren't a fighter?
Shit.
Really? I think about that all the time.
I don't even know, man. Honestly, like, at the time, I was partying way too much. I was going back to school, but was kind of like not really. And I was delivering pizzas, and like it was just like I was the pizza man at the time, so like it was tough. Like, but once I found it, like I said, I was like, this is it. Like, I locked in. I just put everything into it. It was, but yeah, I would have been working a regular job, like, you know, being at the bar, hanging out, like, you know, nothing crazy.
What about you, Calvin?
I might be in Vegas, but I wouldn't be in here. Yeah, I don't know, man. And it's such a crooked path to become a fighter, I feel like. No one really just jumps in. It wasn't like it was what my family did. No one in my family previously wrestled or fought. Just kind of walked on the mat and jumped in the cage. It was kind of crazy. And then now to be a promoter with that, I do see a lot of longevity in that and enjoy being at the events. So like long term, I think that'd be cool, and I definitely enjoy being involved in the sport more than anything outside of the fighting too, you know.
What were some of your jobs before this?
Honestly, I just worked for my father out of respect. I got paid less than the guys that he brought in working for him. But
what field was that?
That was doing irrigation, and I figured I'm getting my ass kicked in here jogging pipe, digging holes. I might as well get my ass kicked in the gym doing something, you know, that has a little bit more upside every couple months. You know, so but shout out to my dad.
Do you have a good
goose?
Delivering,
the goose.
Is he the big goose? You're the goose.
Yeah, he calls me goose. I would tell a kid, man. I'm telling you, when he ever said goose, when I was coming out of my last fight, I don't even know, man. He just called me goose. I was walking, goose, get him, goose.
How'd you get that nickname?
I don't even know, man. I don't know. Maybe
random.
That's a good question. I just know he kept calling me. It stuck. For one of just like the Boston finisher, all these nicknames, man, just getting stuck on me. I got nothing to do with it.
Can I give you a backstory?
For that's another. My bad. That was another thing. Like, I was like, he was known as the Boston finisher. I was like,
they're busting my balls.
I'm taking his kid out, man. I'm taking his kid out, man.
They call me the Boston Decisionator. Thank God in TV I got the damn finish. I don't know if I would have heard the end of it.
All right, look. When a girl goes, why do they call you Goose? Here's what you do. Say,
slap it out.
Because I like to cuddle like a goose down comforter, baby. I'm comforting.
Oh,
put your arm around her and give her
I got on smooth like the goose.
Like a goose down comforter.
I like it. I like it.
I don't know.
No? Well, it's not going to work on you. You're a guy.
No, I know that, but I don't know. I don't know that the girl would be receptive.
I'll do when the waitress comes here. I'll do it to her and just go, hey, do you know it's really not goose, it's goose, and then I'll do it to her and you watch.
Because
I don't know. Because I'm like a goose down comforter. I'm nice and snuggly. Hey, do you have any good delivering pizza stories?
Actually, I do. I actually do.
That's a great question. I'm excited about this answer.
He took a deep breath.
I delivered to a sex party one time.
What?
It was like not a sex. Let me rephrase that. They were you know when they sell the sex toys?
Yeah.
It's like a party. They sell the sex toys and all that, and they were all.
So like a bunch of ladies got together.
All the ladies. They were all drunk. You know, obviously. And they opened it, like, whoa, and just a big ass fucking deal is hanging out. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Come in. I'm like, I'm in. I'm like,
come in.
Let's go. You know, so I walk in, drop the pizza down. They're like, you know, blah blah blah, talking, like, you know, we need some entertainment. And it was just like, listen, like, you know, I got the pizza for you, but you're gonna have to pay for me to, you know, say if I want to strip. And I was like, he actually did, so I just did a little dance and
shut up.
I walked out there with like $100. It was like, perfect.
What'd you get down to?
Just my shirt. I was fucking around. They threw some music on, started dancing and all that. I'm probably gonna get murdered by Kathy.
I know. It's like, if you're listening, Kathy,
I'm lying. I swear. But yeah, it was hilarious. I walked in. I told my boss. He was like, "Get the hell out of here!" And then like he sent some more stuff over for free. And it was like for the next driver to go to see if I was bullshitting. And,
right.
Like, it was
confirmed
true.
it?
Yeah. It was funny.
Did the next driver
might have to fill out an application.
Wow. You think Russ from Boston would have got that request? We got a listener who also delivers in the Boston area.
They would have asked Russ they would have given him money to put more clothes on.
No, but you know what? He in your area, I think he came out. it's called the Boston Herald's your big paper, right?
Yep.
I think he came out because there was an article. He's Daniel Cormier's biggest fan, and even I think even Domino's got a hold of this, right? It was a big deal at one point. But yeah, he's from your area, but he's more northern. So I guess it's New Hampshire. You guys brush up on the north, right? He's closer to that, but he used to call in a lot. Russ from Boston.
Nice. Shout out to him.
Yeah. Do you have a good street fight story for us, Calvin?
Street fight? Shit, which one you want?
If they're good, we'll take two.
Goose is undefeated in street fights.
I don't know. We were talking about a couple this morning too, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple good ones. One of them, I was protecting my sister. She got like punched by a guy in the mouth.
Why would that happen?
I don't know, man. My sister's kind of crazy too.
At what age?
Unfortunately, we were like I was. At least in my 20s, low 20s.
Okay.
I mean, we were old enough to not do stupid shit.
Right.
But we were there.
Punched her?
Yeah, we were there celebrating our birthdays. She's March 29th, I'm March 26th. So we just went out to a club in Boston, and a guy ended up watching from afar. I saw him like actually scramble happened. He like punched my sister. I couldn't believe my eyes.
I
saw it. Yeah.
Oh God.
So I leaped over like 5 people, and I threw my drink. I tried jacking him up a little bit, and then all I know is I picked up my sister at this point, and she's on the ground, she's bleeding out of her lip. And I had this guy come up to me that worked there, and this shit never happens, man. I had the bouncer come up. He sees me helping out my sister. She's got a little blood on her lip, and I'm like, listen, man, a guy just hit my sister, and I need to find him. And I was hammered, but I tried bringing it in, and he's like, all right, come with me. And I'm like, oh, shit, he's actually going to hook me up. Brings me down the back staircase. I wrap around the front, and there's the guy. Lo and behold, my sister told me what he was wearing, and I knew what he was wearing because I seen him. But
is he trying to duck out?
He's trying to just dip out. He's all like cool and smooth out, and I'm like, not
Got
yet.
him.
Come here.
Got him.
Put him down, and then, that's the
how
first time I heard
was
someone
the
snore. I never heard anybody.
Did he see you coming?
Yeah, he knew what was up.
Okay, and then did you say,
his other two
that's my
buddies
sister,
ran.
or did you just lit him?
Honestly, I don't really. I remember clocking him, and he went down. I just finished him off with 2 more, and then I was trying to talk to him. He snored. I'm like, I did this to you. Don't do it. Stay away from my sister.
I'm the one that did this to you.
I don't know. I was making no sense. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, man. I was really young. I grabbed this kid. Look at him. He's snoring. He's snoring. I'm like, don't ever touch my sister again. That's what you get for hitting girls or something. That was one of them, man. But this has been, and honestly, like any type of fights that I've ever had probably were something along those lines. Where I don't care to like fight these guys in the street or nothing like that. It's like trying to just, these guys never fought. I tell everybody all the time, they all think they can fight because it's just a humanistic, like natural behavior. You know, everybody thinks they can fight. But try going on a golf course and hitting par your first time. You know, it's not going to happen. We can all swing a club. You know, it's just, you got to respect what somebody's good at. And but
if you don't do it, just go like this, like, oh, my hand.
I'm telling you, I haven't gotten a shoot fight, man, in so long, but that was back in the day. And I probably had more than my MMA career, unfortunately. But yeah, just what was another one? Shit, I don't know.
A second ago, they were pouring out of your ears.
Well, I'm thinking of one, but I'm trying to think of a different one because it's just this one was just.
Did they go down at the TD Garden or
TD Garden? Yeah, I remember. I skipped.
The irrigation days?
All 3 of those. I'm thinking about all 3.
It's
one at the
Boston,
T, one on the job. One of them I fought my dad. No, I didn't fight my dad. I took him down.
No, I don't want to hear that one.
I put a dent in his truck, man. I jacked him up in the truck. He's like, if you can tap me out, you can get off the job site. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's a fun story.
I jacked him up in a double. I put him into the truck. The homeowner comes out. Are you all right? He's like, it's my son. Don't worry about it. Took him down. He gave me like 30 seconds to choke him out. And I was on top. I had double hooks in, and I at that point I'm like, I'm not gonna choke. I couldn't really sing. I'm like, the time ran out, and he thinks he won the fight. I'm like, Pops, I would have ground and pounded the shit out of you.
Right. Let's go to the TD Garden. What happened there?
Yeah,
the
Garden,
Fenway, or the New England Patriots.
So
that's Gillette. Right?
Yeah, man. Boston's kind of crazy sometimes. There's a lot of tough people from Boston. It's just nobody does the right things with it. That's what you know what I mean? So this, I've always grew up around tough guys. Yeah.
You're not going to get into
He's trying to incriminate himself, man. He's just being real careful what he says.
Couple of times, man.
I mean, unless it happened last week or something.
A lot of times it's been outnumbered. It's been a lot of guys feeling froggy. And they like to jump sometimes. So
gotta put the goose in.
Yeah, gotta let them know who the real goose is. I get out there and I genuinely, man, like I try not to get involved too much, but a lot of times we've been there and just been outnumbered and look back like, holy shit, what just happened? I'm glad we're out of that.
Right.
But Boston,
I want to hear something from Gillette Stadium.
Gillette.
You guys, sometimes when they play at night, they've had all day to drink and party and tailgate.
You know, Gillette. I don't know if I've made the debut at
Fenway?
Gillette yet. I might have to do that soon.
Fenway.
Fenway. Yeah, I believe we're leaving.
Yankee fans.
Yankee fans.
No.
No, they're out of there real early. I tell you, a tough one was going to MetLife and losing twice in a row, seeing the Patriots at the Jet Stadium, and that just sucked. I talked a lot of shit all game. I was with my cousins who were from New York, and I just had to tuck my tail out of that stadium twice. I don't know if I'll ever go back until he comes and sees a Jets game at Gillette. Just to, then
he ain't gonna do that.
Get one back. He ain't gonna do that, and I'll never go there again because now I'm the jinx of the Patriots and the Jets.
Yeah.
Did you catch his dig on the Yankees? It was very subtle, but it was very good.
They leave early.
He said, well, we couldn't get into a fight because they're usually out.
Yeah. They're out there real early.
Was Rob the one that told someone about the riding the bike in Florida?
Oh, no.
That's somebody else?
Was that where he worked at a restaurant or something?
No, that was, it may have been Charles Rosa.
I think
Charles
it's
Rosa's the man. Shout out to Rosa, man.
Right.
Can't wait for him.
It had to do with Florida. All right.
He's a wild boy.
Charles Rosa?
Have I ever asked
so I
you
hear.
Can you tell us a good street fight story?
I don't have any, unfortunately.
That is a lie. That is a lie.
I don't have. Well, unfortunately, I don't have any good street fights. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
I got another one. I'm just kidding.
How about another pizza delivery story? You got any of those?
I mean, how long did you work there?
For like 2.5, 3 years.
What was the best tip you ever got?
That $100.
Outside of that one.
Some weed, really. Like usually, 30 some weed. You know what I mean? You're like, perfect. You know.
Oh, they tipped you. I thought you brought it to them.
Oh no.
We want a pepperoni. Bring some weed with
In 2018, you might get both. Uber Eats.
Wow.
I'll take it. Yeah.
It's crazy time.
That's how they tipped them. Here's some weed.
There you go. Yeah.
You're no longer there. Did you say thank you very much? Or
I partake. I definitely I took it.
All right.
Have fun with it.
Must have delivering a pizza on my roommates.
I want to try one more time because he says you do have some. You really don't have any street fight stories.
Nothing that can top. Nothing can top his stories, man. Like,
I mean, I barely remember half mine.
I'm a nice guy.
Who do you guys like? Let's talk gambling then.
You know.
We got the odds here. Let me read them off.
2157.
Kamaru Usman minus 280. Rafael dos Anjos plus 230. Who do you like in that? Just give me a winner. You don't have to tell me who you're betting on or nothing. Who do you think's gonna win that fight?
You want to go first?
I'll go with the favorite, Usman. I'm safe.
Okay.
I love Dos Anjos' style, man. That wrestling's tough to deal with. I'm gonna go with Rafael.
All right. Now we don't know. Let's go.
What are we
to
putting on this font?
Let me get a pen.
We need to jot these.
Yeah, here you go. Pedro Munoz.
I'm holding him accountable to these picks later.
Brian Caraway. Munoz is minus 240. He's the favorite. Caraway's plus 190.
Go Munoz, man.
I'll go with Munoz.
Okay. Let's see here. There's another one that we were talking about here earlier. How about Tim Means versus Ricky Rainey?
The Dirty Bird Means.
Yeah, I gotta go Means too, man.
Okay.
Seen him fight live.
Now look at this one. Alex Perez is minus 135. Joseph Benavidez is plus 105. Joseph Benavidez hasn't
changed, right?
Has he ever been an underdog other than Demetrius fights? And the Dominic? Oh, he opened?
No.
What am I missing here?
It's changed. I don't know.
Alex Perez is pretty damn good. I know he's 7-1-1 or something like that, right?
I don't know what they could be thinking.
You must have whispered in his ear over there.
Before Benavidez lost to Pettis, he had only lost to two of the all-time greats, Cruz and Johnson.
Yeah.
He lost to each guy twice. Yeah. But to be able to say
split.
He got a split decision off both guys.
That sucks.
Damn.
Yeah. So for a long time he was in our pound for pound rankings because he fought well at 35 and at 25, and his only losses were two of the all-time greats. But then he lost the Pettis fight, and now I see him as an underdog. Holy cow!
No respect.
Yeah.
No respect.
So who do you guys like in that fight? Perez and Benavidez.
It's a tough one.
I'm gonna give Perez a shot with this one, man. He's a live dog. From here, it says he's a favorite, but I mean, guy's got a lot of accolades, man. Benavidez, like you said. So I think in a lot of people's eyes, he's still gonna be the dog. But
I like Perez a lot, but I'm gonna go with the WEC vet.
Okay, the next day they're in Australia. What about Tai Tuivasa and Junior Dos Santos?
Oh, I gotta go with Tai. He's a wild boy.
I'm with you on Tai.
I love him.
Are you guys generally good at picking fights? Do you guys do it often?
Honestly, I kind of suck at it.
I mean, here and there, you can't pick them all, or else you're gonna suck no matter what, right? If you make too many picks, there's no way you're gonna be good. But
it's funny, like as I watch fights, I'm like going back and forth on who I really want to win. I'm like, I go with Ty. Oh, the star's looking good though. I'm like back and forth, back and forth. It's like I'm the worst.
But when you call fights, you got to say like it depends on who gets their game off, right? I feel like you gotta say, oh well, if this guy takes him to the ground, Khabib Conor, same shit type deal. You'd say, if he gets him to the ground, then it's gonna be Khabib's fight. But Conor could knock him the fuck out.
Really,
it's kind of like you got to say it going one each way.
Excited about that. I'm excited about that Rocco Martin fight, man. I can't wait for that one. Tony Martin.
Yeah, you already know.
Shout out to Martin over Jake Matthews?
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Definitely going with Tony Martin.
What about
shout out to Rocco. Love you, bro.
Dan, who do you like, Tony Martin or Jake Matthews? Have you gotten to that one yet?
It's Rocco. Get it right.
I don't want to get my okay. You want to give him the mic?
Yeah, you want to put it on?
Sure.
If he's going with Martin, then we want to hear it.
Let's go.
Man, I ought to go with Martin. I was wrong on him on the last 2 times and proved a lot of people wrong. It's an interesting fight though because both guys are in the same spot. I mean, they both have overachieved. They both submit Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts when they weren't black belts yet. Matthews is a black belt now. They both had a lot of losses where they looked bad, but it was when they were young and like Martin was dealing with like acid reflux, something I can relate to. I was just having an attack over there and shit. He was having he would cut to lightweight and it would shut his whole body down.
I used to train with him.
And then now like now he's saying like now he's up at welterweight and I don't think he's just talking because of his skills. He's knocking guys out. He's defending shots. He's not getting as tired when he gets later rounds.
He was definitely cutting way too much weight for 55. He's
a big guy.
He was a fat boy. Like he would tear it up at the fights and just balloon up. And like I'm so happy he's at 70 now. And
well, he's a savage, man. Anybody who got him at dog money smart. The money already came in though. For me, it's a stay away fight. I did end up picking Matthews though, just because the one thing they're both making crazy improvements. Like Matthews looked like a damn middleweight against Li Jingliang, and Li Jingliang's no joke. Yeah, he's a Chinese guy. You can stereotype MMA fighters to their region where they come from, but as time goes on, guys are getting better now, right?
100%.
And Matthews is showing crazy skills too. And at the end of the day, Matthews has forward pressure, wrestling, and good grappling. And you look at the common thread of all Rocco Martin's losses are have that in common. Aubin Mercier, top control grappling guy. He submitted Fabricio Camões, which was really nice, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt guy. But you look at Benil Dariush, another grappling top control guy, and you look at these kind of common threads, and that's the question he still hasn't answered yet on paper. Maybe in the gym, I'm sure he's training with monsters at American Top Team. I'm sure he's doing great. It's a super live fight. If you guys play Martin, best to you. He's super live in that spot for sure. But I ended up on the other side for that one.
He's riding a lot of momentum.
Knows what's up, huh?
Yeah, no, for sure, man. But there's always that X factor. Tony's got
it. He watches a lot. Yeah. So I can sit here and go, man, the jab and this and that.
But it's like what Calvin said.
When he talks, I'm like sitting there going, wow, he watches a lot.
But that's how you got to place it. You got to have thought-based decisions like why you're going to pick somebody, but then there's just that X factor. Anything happens.
Exactly.
Any given night, like you're
saying,
are you having an on day?
Even when he's wrong, because this game's so unpredictable, usually what he says was going to happen is playing out. But again, back to 4-ounce gloves and back to the things we don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Did your girl and you have a rough 2 months?
Did
you have a broken
inside information,
broken toe? You couldn't get your cardio in. The things that we just don't know. But other than that, he's very exceptional when it comes to that.
I think it's the opposite with Martin. I think right now he's just got things rolling and flowing for him. That I'm going to give him that X factor. I think he's just in a good place mentally, coming off a nice head kick win and training with some killers out there, and that's what he needs, man. He's a beast. He needs to train with beasts and just sharpen his iron. Now he's ready to go out there and do his thing.
He's got the thing you were talking about earlier. He's got the chip on his shoulder, that motivation, in a positive way though. Like he's letting it work for him in a positive, and I definitely see that.
He's good. Yeah.
And you nailed it earlier, Calvin, when you were talking about the way you lay out picks. You have to lay out, both sides of it realistically if you're trying to lay it out, whether you're betting or doing analysis, which I know, you guys end up doing more as UFC guys.
Not bad. Who do you have for the boxing fight?
Shoot. Oh, man. Oh, no. I got to see. I got
curveball.
Oh, wow. I haven't done I haven't done any study on that, but I'm looking at odds, though. I'm looking to see if how much of a dog.
He's no longer breaking his hands, Wilder, and he throws hard, and when he smells blood, he goes for it. So I see him playing with his food a little bit early just to tire him out and then put it on him. I think he'll not only win, I think he'll get the finish. And I think, they're heavyweights, man. For 6 to 9, somewhere around there.
So smart money's on Wilder then?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. That's why I'd only be looking to see how big of a dog the other gentleman would be. Reason why I like your guys' styles, I tend to favor more. Skills generally win fights, so I tend to favor more the skill guy than And don't get me wrong, they're athletic guys, the one-shot knockout guys. They get the hype for a reason. I get it. I'm not trying to take anybody down, but I'm usually that guy's like, okay, wait a minute. What happens after the first round? What happens then?
There's jackpots every once in a while, but
He has that funky. Like he moves like a lightweight. Like it's gonna be interesting.
It get interesting. You'll get more interesting the later that goes. But I'm not a boxing kid. I'll be talking out of school if I try to break that fight down. But no, you guys, I love hearing you guys breakdowns of these fights. Though it's great hearing from
you
fighters,
guys definitely know what you're talking about.
I feel like I gotta up my game though. You came correct. Like statistical facts. He's coming together.
You gotta respect what people.
You guys came correct, by the way. Just to pay you, not to kiss your ass because you guys are here or whatever or anything. But you were talking about the fight momentum. It's something that I've tried to articulate, but I can't really. And my experience is real super minimal. Only amateur and other martial arts. I had never anything like you guys by any means. But what you guys said, there is a point that I try to explain to people that unless you do it, there's a certain way to break down a fight. Sure, you can learn moves and enhance your understanding that way, but there's a certain rhythm of combat that unless you're in a hard sparring session or fighting yourself, you don't really get that, and you don't really see that. You kind of see these momentum changes that I'm not trying to say in a negative, but other people would miss. I guess what you would say. You guys articulated it really perfectly earlier.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just a reset, shake it out. Like it's just like you're saying, you're getting off. All of a sudden, everything's coming off, and you're running efficient, and then all of a sudden, if you're the other guy and you're getting picked off, you got to reset, shake it up, do something different, and just switch it up because obviously that's not working. You got to be able to adjust in there. And with only 3 5-minute rounds, you better adjust quick.
Yep. All right, we got to take a break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation Channel 93. Stay close, and we'll be right back.
They taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, for nearly 1 out of 8 Americans and 1 in 6 children, hunger is a reality. Support Why Hunger's annual Hungerthon donation drive. Go to SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon and see items that you can bid on now, like hang out in studio with Busted Open's Dave LaGreca, along with Bully Ray and Mark Henry during their live show, or make a donation and receive a gift like a Tom Morello Hunger is Crime hat, a John Lennon Imagine There's No Hunger hat, a Bruce Springsteen Land of Hope and Dreams pin, and more. We got Calvin Kattar and Rob Font here in studio with us. We're just chilling out. But now it's time to do the daily debate question, brought to you by the MMA Junkie radio team. And we've corralled the guys. They're going to participate as well. Here we go. With the announcement, guys, of Bellator champ Darian Caldwell versus Rizin's Kyoji Horiguchi, do you expect more of a trend in cross-promotional fights across the future landscape of MMA? Yes or no, but add a little to it. Goes.
I would say, even though the UFC are the ones that were involved with the first trade, I don't see them doing it, but I see the other promotions do it. We've seen some of the Access TV promotions go back and forth, right? So I could see some of them doing. So I would say yes.
Yeah, I expect to see more, but I don't think it'll be a trend. In other words, I don't think we're going to see like 5 in 2019. Like I think we might see 1 in 2019. We've seen King Mo go from Bellator and fight over in Rizin, but that was 2 years ago, and now we're hearing about this one. They won in UFC kind of just had a trade
back in the day.
Yeah, so I would say I think it's more of a no, because that word trend just kind of implies that there'd be a lot of them. All right, Calvin, what do you think? You think there'll be more of these types of fights?
I think there'll be a couple more of these types of fights, but like you said, it's more like the powers that be, and then making it work on the back end with pay-per-views and things with other promotions. But I like it. I mean, throw money at a fight, cool fights, matchups. Let's make it happen. As far as I'm concerned, another fighter in another organization. I don't really know many of the names in the other organizations, but you throw some money on it, and I'm out of contract, let's do it.
Would you want to fight the winner of PFL's $1 million?
Honestly, my mindset right now is I will fight everybody and anybody, and just talk to Tyson.
Match,
yeah, I'm thinking about boxing, man. I can't wait to get in there. I want to do a boxing fight. But
all right. Yeah. How about you, Rob? Do you think this will be a trend, or do you think this is just once a year?
That's still his answer, but I think it's going to be, like you said, a couple times a year. I don't see the UFC doing it. I think it'll be more like the PFL, the Bellator, the Rizin's doing it. But it's interesting. It's fun. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Who would you want to fight from another promotion?
Man, who's the ONE FC champ?
Bibiano Fernandez just lost his title, but I think that'll
be a fun fight. The James Gallagher will be a fun fight. All
right.
Yeah, like I said, all those guys, they can get it. Let's go.
There you have it. There's the daily debate question brought to you by the MMA Junkie radio team and UFC featherweight Calvin Kattar and UFC bantamweight Rob Font. Here's how the voting went. 78% said yes, so they're anticipating more of these. 22% said no. All right, continuing on here. Let's talk to Dean in Georgia, one of our callers. He's on line 1. What's up, Dean? How you doing?
Gentlemen, how's it going? Rob, Calvin, welcome. I'm fellow New Englander. Hey, Rob, you're in training camp, but Calvin, me and Goes had a bet. Red Sox won. You could have my Chipotle that he owes me.
Let's go. I like it.
That makes it sting even more.
Buy one, get one.
Real dad now.
You bet Dean a Chipotle? Yeah. And Dean's now giving it to Calvin as a gift?
Giving it to him, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shit, man, we split around here. Anything comes to tape, we split.
I'm basically his bitch. He's just saying, hey, go pay for his food.
Wow, just pawned you off.
That stung even more. Just when
I like it. I like it. Add him to the other Chipotles I'm owed from all my New York buddies.
You like Chipotle?
It's all right. Yeah, buy one, get one.
They got that?
I'll tell you. Joe Lazon had the hookup last month, so I had a little bit. But
what was the hookup?
Just buy one, get ones. They gave him like 1,000 cards, so I liked Chipotle that month. It was
Does
pretty
he still have any?
Yeah, he's got a bunch, but they're all expired.
And
they're pretty on point.
He's got 1,000 of them.
He
did. Somebody came in with that one time?
Huh?
Do you remember somebody came in with that?
Was it Vinny?
Yeah. He had a whole shoebox of them.
Shout out to Vinny.
Oh, man.
From
I
Boston,
jumped on
probably.
that craze too late. I love Chipotle. Cain Velasquez, I believe, has one of those gold ones where he never has to pay.
That's
I need something like that. Just somewhere, something. Hooks me up forever.
That's huge.
Isn't it?
That's huge.
Hell yeah. All right.
What do you go for usually?
Okay, this is how I do it.
Let's go.
I walk in.
I
walk in. I like to tell a story. How you doing today? Oh, man, I skipped breakfast. I'm so hungry. That buys me extra rice and extra beans.
All right.
He's a black belt.
They're supposed to just give you the scoop, and that's it. But they always got that little second one, kind of like a halfer. Oh, there you go.
Like I like you a little bit.
Right. And by the way, you can ask for more, and they don't charge. Right, but now if there's a lot of people, you're looking like, you know, a slob. So then I go.
So, all right, so you're going solo by yourself.
Yeah,
then
going solo. So then I go, what's your meat? I go chicken, and then they'll dig in and do it. But then if they go and do it again, because now I've established I'm a big dude that's hungry. So if they give me that little quarter spoon, right as they're about to pass it over to the little salad bar area, I'm like, I want to pay. I'll pay you extra. I want double. But now they got to match not only that spoonful.
The extra scoop, man. I know that.
Right? Right. So then they got to do that. And then after that, it's just basically we're going downhill. That was the work I put in right there. Because I just want hot sauce,
for a bowl, though.
sour cream, and cheese.
Are you going with the hot sauce, though? Like
I can't do the burrito because once you do the double chicken, I mean, they're
too much. It's too much.
They'll give you a free one. They'll rewrap it. They'll give you another one that goes over it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've tried to stay away from it.
If you're doing the burrito, that's the trick, is they don't want to overstuff it. So don't mess with like rice and beans. Leave that off, because then they won't put as much meat. So once they put the meat, then go, you know what, them beans do look good. Let me go back. And then that puts pressure on them. And they're like, fuck, all right.
Next time I get some buy one get ones, I'm coming back out here for you guys. Hook it up.
Send them, man. I like
what do you guys get on yours?
Vegetables, man. Vegetables.
Yeah.
But it's not actually. It's pretty good though. It's not that bad. I usually go with the lightest. Chicken, steak, hot sauce, and then guac and some corn, and call it a day.
That's not bad.
I gotta do the same thing.
You still got the, like it's, it's a little salty, but drink some extra water, you're good to go. But it's actually approved by my nutritionist, so like any chance I get out there and get my Chipotle on.
Do you guys like how West Coasters make a big deal out of In-N-Out Burger? Do you like In-N-Out Burger?
I honestly, I don't. I'm more of like I want to try because you want to get a certain way, right? You can't get I want a fried egg in my burger, bacon, and all that type of stuff. I don't like just having a cheeseburger. I'm good on that,
I've still been wanting to go. I can't believe I haven't. I've been here so many times. I never went.
You've never been in and out?
No, and I hear there's a secret menu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a couple things you can ask for.
Yeah, I gotta go exploit that.
I like to play around, get different things on a burger, but definitely a fried egg. I'm a big fried egg on a burger guy. I have to get that fried egg.
Yep.
Did you do that at Fuku Burger? They do it.
Bro, I fucking love Fuku Burger.
My bad.
They fry it perfect too, man. I must have ate like 4 of them that weekend. Like
4? Oh, okay. I was the same.
Yeah, like at least I even went to the spot. Like it was like I had to get it. Like it's. And then the fries, what kind of fries were they? The garlic fries?
They had different. They had sweet potato. They had garlic. They had all kinds of.
I forgot, but our caller's still on hold. Dean, sorry about that. You want to finish the call?
He's out.
Oh, Dean?
He's at Chipotle. He's gone.
He's at Chipotle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, see, I like In-N-Out Burger, but I also subscribe to the fact that a burger's hard to fuck up. I just don't like when people claim. We got the best. We got this. We got that.
I don't mind if they do that as long as they've tried other ones. Because all right, the New York versus Chicago pizza, we're California guys. We have no play in this.
Yeah.
But we'll have guys from New York go, New York pizza all day. And we go, what don't you like about Chicago? I don't know. I've never had it. How could you fucking chime in on that if your opinion makes no sense?
Yeah. That's a little.
Why is it that East Coasters have to be so
one or the
over
other?
the top? Like the best, the fucking best. Like we're not filming a movie. You know what I mean? It's like
pride, man. Pride. Yeah. We're too pride. I guess it's too prideful.
Yeah.
Too prideful.
Or the water. We get that a lot too. Oh, our water. Man, you guys have plungers next to your toilet just like we do. Your plumbing is the same.
I mean, East, West Coast, if we're in North America, we're doing all right.
There you go.
You're out of contract right now?
Yeah, right now.
Are you in the middle of that?
I'm working a contract with Combat Zone right now to make my comeback locally. But that's about it. No, we're trying to get a fight, but the really Lynch Tyson deal with all that. For me, I just got done my last event, and then he's got a fight. So my focus is just kind of getting ready.
What happens if you run into the matchmaker or Dana White?
I did this morning. I'm like, yo, I seen that dude going to get a coffee. I'm like, I'm gonna give him a break. I'm not talking to this dude about contracts. He's going to get a coffee.
Why is that though? Why are you giving him a pass?
Because
there's a lot of people.
Because I'm a matchmaker too, man. Shit,
well, that's a good point.
You trying to get me to get my coffee?
There's a lot of people
yes you to death too.
that ask
Email
and
me.
They wind up getting what they want because they're out there asking.
Hey, you only get what you ask for. I'm a big believer in that, and really you shouldn't take no for an answer on top of it. But
I believe in that. But I think that situation where he was,
it's tough.
You could tell he was rushing. He wanted to get a coffee. I think it's just been a bad move.
And I let my actions do the talking, man. Line it up. and base me off my last performance, and let's talk about the next. But
have you had initial talks yet? Anything?
Yeah, we're getting the foundation going, I think, for something. But we're also at the end of the year. I think they probably have all their fights mapped out too, contracts that they got to get lined up. So I don't think they're in a position where they probably need me so much right now anyway. And in the meantime, I'm looking to just box or punch someone or something. So
the same question I asked Rob earlier.
Yep.
Talk to me about Muay Kano. How long did it take you to get over that? And
I mean, I still feed off it. So it's been
him,
a while. Look, man, it's been a while.
Holloway?
It was years on that since I tasted that last one. Let me think. What was that 2010? That sucked. I was on a good spree, just not tasting that. But you gotta hate to lose more than you love to win. And I just now it's still sitting with me. Like I can't wait to get that back. It's not beating me up or anything, but at the same time, it's driving me. You know, all these things that happen that are secondary to, you know, put in the work. I just put it all in a one big funnel, like you said about the being a month out from your fights, and then all of a sudden, broken toes are one thing, but emotional shit is another. And I really try to funnel all that emotional shit or mental shit in a one big funnel into being productive and giving me more fuel for that fight in a month coming up. You know, all that raw life shit that comes into play. I think that should feed your purpose to go in there and get a finish or things like that. And I really try to bring that mentality in there.
All right, guys. So as you can see, we are gonna have to do a shift here in our studio. Let's do the plugs that you guys wanted to do. Let's do all the social media and one more time.
Combat Zone MMA.
It's next
February
year,
2nd, live downtown Manchester. www.czmma.com. Get your tickets now. Follow me on Calvin Kattar, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. I'm probably on something else I don't know about. Follow my boy Rob Font.
How much does it cost to go to your show, and what city is it in?
It's in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's really the only thing kind of going on in New Hampshire, but we got a great commission.
Is that a Friday or Saturday?
It's a Saturday event, and come out, support local MMA if you're in the area.
$20, $50, what?
$40 for general admission, but I push the front rows, $120. You might get a closer seat next to Rob Font if you're sitting there.
Come through.
So come through, yeah. We'll have some fun.
All right, and Rob, you got Sergio Pettis coming up here. UFC on Fox 31, and
man. Again, shout out to Combat Zone. Make sure you check that out. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I got locked out of my old Instagram.
That's right. Yeah.
That was so yeah.
Don't get into that story.
So it's Rob_Font, not Rob Font, but Rob_Font. Twitter Rob S Font, and Facebook at Rob Font. But yeah, one more time, man. Check out Combat Zone, and December 15th, man, delivering knockouts.
Thanks for stopping by, guys, and good luck in your fight.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate you. Good talking to you guys in person.
How did you get your nickname?
Because I had a history teacher, and he just needed, like, I said he, by the way, yeah. He needed hints on how to remember names. Okay. So everybody had a name. Like, you would have been Ravishing Rob, Crazy
Ridiculous
Calvin,
Rob.
Gorgeous George, Big Al, Diamond Jim. That was his little mnemonics to remember.
He's a history teacher. Why would he need that? His whole job is to remember facts.
This is sound a little pervy.
Because
worst guy ever.
Get him. Tell him.
Actually, this guy.
I can't believe you went against the Sox, man.
This guy.
You sound like a smart guy going against the Sox. What's the matter with this guy?
What do you mean?
He sounds like a smart guy going against the Sox.
That was just his way of remembering the names.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
What about your nickname?
Imagine I could have been
from him.
I could have been Curious George. I could have been Georgie Porgy. I'll take fucking Gorgeous George at that point. But that was just his way of remembering names. And so it's not a fancy story. I can't say Miss Hawaiian Choppy gave it to me or nothing, but it's the truth.
It works. It works.
All right, guys. All right, we got to go to our break. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation Channel 93. Stay close. We'll be right back.
King Kong has a lot of shit on them. Like a lot, especially Goes. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
Get the radio channel numbers and a link to listen to your favorite NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, or NHL team sent right to your smart device. Just go to SiriusXM.com/sportstoday and click Add to My Calendar. Want to welcome to the show Maurice Greene. He's a UFC heavyweight, and he'll be fighting Michael Batista on Friday at the Tough 28 finale, which is headlined by Rafael Dos Anjos versus Kamaru Usman. Quick note on that, by the way, everybody was on weight. We had 2 exceptions, though. Rick Glenn missed weight. And the young lady, she escapes, Si Jiang, who's fighting Antonina Shevchenko, she also missed weight, but everybody else is good. So welcome, Maurice, to MMA Junkie Radio. How you doing, my man?
Man, I'm good. Thanks for having me. It's always nice to do things like this. You know, it means the career's moving in the right direction. So,
man, we psyched to have you. You know, you were definitely one of the big stars of this season of The Ultimate Fighter, season 28. And then I honestly really like the crocheting. My girlfriend's a big crocheter, so right away I was like, all right, that's a dude I can get behind and
appreciate
root
that,
for him.
man.
You know what I mean?
That.
Plus, you handled your business, that's for sure. I mean, you like I say, you added a lot to the season. You definitely had some great moments. Did you have fun doing the show overall?
You know, when we got in the house, Dana, it was like, it's going to be the toughest experience you ever go through, and I kind of just like laughed it off, like, I'm about to have fun. I'm on vacation. I'm about to whoop some ass, get the best training of my life, and have fun. And very, very soon you realize that it's very tough, you know, from a mental standpoint, from a physical standpoint, how much you're training, how often you're training, how hard you're training. So, you know, I took a lot out of the experience despite, you know, everything else that happened in the house, you know, me kind of unraveling a little bit. But, you know, that's all a part of it. What can you do, you know?
Right.
What about going back to day one, when you see both coaches going in, before really even talking to them, getting to know them, did you have a preference of kind of like, maybe I fit better with this style or anything like that?
Yes, I actually got the team I wanted. I wanted to be on Gastelum's team just because, you know, all the adversity he faced, he was the last pick and came back and won the season. So obviously his coaching and everybody at home instilled something in him to give him that drive to not be discouraged, to be the last pick and, you know, kind of, you know, push through and beat, you know, Uriah Hall in the finale. After Uriah's coming off those devastating knockouts, you know. So that's what I wanted. So I got what I wanted. I was the early pick in the season, and, you know, it didn't matter what number I went. I was just confident in my skills. So, and I knew I'd come off being better. If I learned one thing from them, it was a successful season.
You know, there's 27 seasons before you, and I'm sure you watched a lot of it, and you probably have friends, teammates that have done this before, and I'm sure they gave you some advice. Was there one thing that caught you off by surprise, even still, with all that information about the whole experience?
Yeah, the whole thing. You know, there's a lot of things you can't do, right? We're all grown men. It's been a long time since somebody tells us what we can and can't do. Yeah. That was pretty hard, but just how the training is, you know, just how your body feels. Like at home, you know, I don't have as many resources as I had in the house, right? So some of the guys had everything at their disposal at home. They'd be able to travel, train with other guys. It was me, Brock Larson, and anybody who I could get to work with me. That's how it worked. I don't travel and train. I was working a full-time job. You know, the family came first, and this is what I was doing on the side. So just the level of training and the intensity every day, twice a day, kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But, you know, I'm getting used to it. This is the business. You know, at some point in time, you got to level up if you want to be on this level. So, you know, here on out, you know, everything's going to be probably much different in my training camp. So we're getting used to it.
What did you, as far as how the season played out, again, good moments, bad moments, but was it fun at all? Like, can you look back on it and go, man, for the right amount of money, I'd do it again, or just hell no? Because there's been fighters that have told us, you give me $100,000, I still won't go back to that house. And we're like, really? Then there's others that go, yeah, I'll do it again. I got fed great food, and I got the best training ever. So I get a bunch of different responses.
Bruh, let me just say, because I went through it and I am where I am, if I got the opportunity to do it again, I'd have to think long and hard if I would actually do it again. You know, I'm a stay-at-home dad now. It's my full-time job now as of November of last year. So in a year of me leaving my job and saying I'm chasing this dream, that's where we're at. It can't get any sweeter. The only way it can get sweeter is if I was the one fighting in the finale, for that contract. I'm fighting for a contract, just a different one. I just got to take a little bit different route. So what? I'm still getting my shot. It's my job interview on Friday. But I don't know if I'd do it again, man. Like I said, they'd have to. No, I don't know if I would. It's hard for me to be away from my kids, man. I get homesick. I miss my children, and I miss my fiance. So I thought maybe just having their pictures and everything, I'd be good. But I had a lot of sleepless nights. Of just looking at my kids and just shedding some tears and breaking down. And your mental state in that house is probably more important, almost than your physical.
There's a fighter in Vegas. His name is Bristol Morundi, and I'm not sure what season he came out of. But I remember when he came to our show, it was only 2 days since they had let him out of the house, and he said, I'm still fucked up. Just getting out, like he said, it took him a while to get his bearings right, and everything. It's like almost like he was in a haunted house, right?
Yeah, he said the billboards even got to him, like seeing news and stuff.
Because
that
time
he didn't know
stopped
happened.
for him, He had his family, but life stopped, or time stopped or whatever. But everything else, it really, really shook him up. So it's weird how everybody has a different answer.
I'm not gonna lie. When I got out, I bounced right back. I bounced back pretty quick. So, but I can understand where he's coming from. But everything does stop. You get out, and it's like being in prison. You come out of prison like, man, what's going on? There's a new app. There's new songs. What song is this? Who made this? And I've never been away for 6 weeks without that contact.
Right.
So yeah, it was a little weird coming out of the house, but I bounced back pretty quickly, and I got right back to training, and I went out to Arkansas, trained with Justin, and we went out to Yuma, and we finished our camp out there, and I'm just happy I can finally talk about it. I've known for a while, and it's been so quiet and silent, and finally it popped up, and now it's not a secret anymore. And I can say it despite losing, in the semifinal to the one person I didn't want to lose to. I'm still getting my job interview that we started this journey looking for. So,
are you recognized a lot more now because of the season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are fans, MMA fans, pretty cool to you, for the most part?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
You got the ones on. So let's think about it. Let's break it down. And I said this. There's 12 episodes. I was in 11 of 12 episodes. Okay. There's some people on the season who are actually great that you may not even know. So, a lot of people can say, well, Maurice, you're an alcoholic. If you don't know how TV works, then you don't know. But we'll take the good with the bad. I was in 11 or 12 episodes. I kind of made their season. And that's not me being cocky or anything. I kind of made the season because of my drama. Everybody wanted to watch me and Juan fight because of what I created, which wasn't something I just kind of made. No, that was real, and I still, to this day, really don't care for him. I still don't care for him, but he's not my target right now. It's Michelle, and we're 100% focused on going out and completing that task Friday night.
How did you watch those episodes, by the way? Some guys have like fight parties. Other people just like to watch it with their friends and family. How did you watch every episode differently?
I sat down with the fiance and turned on the email. We watched it a couple days before it came out, kind of.
Yeah.
I didn't, like I said, I don't have a fight party. We don't meet at a bar. I didn't do none of that stuff. Kind of didn't want to, I kind of just wanted it to play out how it played. And, my social media presence is big enough. And, anything anybody wanted to say, they pretty much said it on social media. And, I got my trollers and stuff like that. That means I'm doing something right.
If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping.
Exactly.
What about now? I mean, even going back to the early on, like the very first episode where you have the camcorder and we can see your family and all that, you could always tell what your family meant to you in your life. Now that you're here, and this is the fight capital of the world, being able to walk through casinos and see your poster, all that type of stuff, is your family out here with you? Have they been able to kind of embrace that and see that as well?
No, my kids are home with grandma, and my fiance, she'll be out here with me, and we'll be able to enjoy and This is kind of nice just because we never go on vacation. So, you know, after this, we're going to stay a couple days and enjoy ourselves.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and, you know, my fiance's never been here. And, you know, I just want to make sure, you know, she gets a break and has a good time. She's mom 24/7, you know. So I get to travel and do all this. She's mom 24/7. But it is kind of weird right now. You know, I get the little picture in the corner. If you look at I got the little one in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's see if we can level up to get the big one, right, in the middle. So, you know, I'm excited to start this journey with the UFC, and I think it's a good fit for me. I've been saying I'd be here, you know, when I was 330 pounds, and nobody thought I would make it here, and you know, now we're here, and everybody's probably expecting what they seen in the house, you know, but that house will make you, you know, it makes you somebody else, man. It could bring out a monster in you, you know, being closed off. But I'm cool, calm, and collected now. Right now we're just waiting it out, man, having fun, smiling.
What's it been like seeing the cast members again now?
I mean, I was with Justin and Panny in Arizona, so, and then when I saw Macy and I saw Bea out here as well, just, you know, we picked up where we left off. We had a really strong, good bond on the show. You know, I didn't really get along with Marcia, but they got along with Marcia, so, you know, I have no hard feelings towards anybody on the show. Besides yours truly. So, you know, if I see anybody else, it's, you know, I saw Yulia, I saw Leah. Just the same thing, man. You know, we had a good bond on the show, a lot of us, and, you know, seeing them here kind of makes me happy, you know. I wish we saw more people fighting from the show on this finale, you know. But it is what it is. It's a competition. There's a reason why things are in place, and, you know, I'm just grateful to get my shot.
You're a chill dude, man, for sure. I know that show can kind of manipulate, and you know, but we've been through 28 seasons of that. We know better. But yeah, you're very calm, cool, collected.
Appreciate that.
Can't wait for your fight. It was very nice to meet you.
I can't wait for my fight.
And I'm glad you came by.
Thank you.
And then you definitely have a lot of potential for sure.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people tell me that there is a lot of potential. So we just got to maximize that potential and you know, show the world what I'm made of.
Folks, that's Maurice Greene. He will be fighting tomorrow at the Tough 28 finale, and I did mispronounce the name of his opponent, Michel Batista. Tune in for sure. You get that on Fox Sports 1 at 10 p.m. Eastern, with the prelims also on Fox Sports 1 at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is our show for today, and I want to thank Maurice Greene for stopping by, as well as Calvin Kattar and Rob Font. Tomorrow we'll have Kelvin Gastelum in studio, as well as George Roop, Michael Johnson, and Eve Edwards. Until then, folks, go out there and be a champion.
Over and the roulette wheel.